what's going on, Trojan family? Welcome to the USC LAFB show. I'm your host, Ryan Dyrud. Thank you all for hanging out with me, tuning in. Quick recruiting update for you. I wanted to jump on here real quick. All of our recruiting news you can find at LAFBnetwork.com. We got all of our USC Trojans coverage there, plus all of our LA sports coverage for all you Lakers fans, Dodgers fans. Tokyo series coming up. Exciting. See the Dodgers hopefully can defend their World Series title. Lakers hottest team in basketball. The LA Kings, we're covering hockey now. Love hockey. Making a playoff push. And the trade deadline for the NHL is just tomorrow. So see if the Kings make any moves there. But all of that can be found at LAFBnetwork.com along with all of our USC Trojans content and coverage. Our YouTube, I just got to say, we just crossed 5,000 subscriptions. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Awesome. Never when I started doing this did I even think about that number. That's a pretty, in my opinion, pretty high number, high mark to hit. And obviously couldn't do it without all of you that tune in, listen, that comment, that engage. Obviously people know, I'm not going to beat around the bush. People know how these algorithms work, and the more engagement and comments and interaction you get, the more the Google will push it and YouTube will push it to other viewers. So I couldn't be more thankful. So thank you all for helping us get there. Big thanks to Coach and Madman and many others who have put in tons of time helping us build this USC channel, this USC coverage, and just all of our coverage at LAFB Network. So thank you guys so much. Seriously, means the world. I love that I get to do this, and I couldn't do it without you. That's what it is. Couldn't do it without you. So, wanted to jump on here. Couple quick recruiting tidbits. Nice short one. As always, show brought to you by our friends at BetOnline. Head to betonline.ag today. All the best money lines, game spreads, point totals, every sport you can think of. I just mentioned all the LA teams. The NFL draft coming up. They got draft props. Lakers, I just looked, are like plus 850 to win the NBA. They have like the third or fourth best odds to win the NBA title. So if you want to put some scratch over on the Lakers, all that can be done at betonline.ag. Where the game starts, tell them the LAFB Network sent you. All right, so a quick update on the number one defensive lineman in the 2026 class, James Johnson. He's from the Southeast, so always going to be tough sometimes to get these Southeast kids over here to Cali. We've talked a lot about how USC has really put an emphasis on California, which we all love, which is great. The talent here is great, but you still got to chase some of these top-tier talent, and especially, and this is nothing against California kids or anything like that, but you just look at the size. There's something about in the trenches specifically where those southeastern states, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Louisiana, even you could include Texas in there, that some of those premier prospects in the trenches do come from those states. So you got to hit them and at least recruit and see what you can do. So James Johnson is a kid that SC, he put SC in his top 8. So they are in the cut, in the running. Like I said, the number one defensive lineman, 6'3", 285 right now. Excuse me, you put him in the top 10, not top 8, but still top 10 finalist there. But, right now, leader in the clubhouse is Georgia. Not a huge surprise. Following Georgia, it's got Florida, Miami, and Syracuse. Kind of rounding out. Those seem to be his top 4 based on an interview that he had with the guys over at On3. So he is from Florida, so no surprise there that both Florida and Miami kind of take precedent. Georgia not too far up the road. He had a visit there just recently. And then Syracuse, kind of the wild card, but had a visit there and hit it off great with the staff, and obviously a beautiful campus up in Syracuse. So I bring all this up because I think the one game-changing factor here is he mentioned in these interviews his visits. Like he said, Georgia was not on his radar until he went there and visited and toured Georgia and met the coaching staff, saw the facilities, and they just skyrocketed up to the top kind of his list. The Florida schools, again, he's from Florida. Those make sense. He's been there the most, visited the most. He visited Syracuse. He has yet to visit USC. Hasn't been to campus yet. So all of his recruiting is done via, I'm sure coaches has visited him, and then the rest has been via the phone, texting, calling, whatever it may be. But he hasn't been, I'm not saying he's never, I don't know if he's ever been to LA, but he hasn't visited USC's campus. Now, he has an unofficial visit scheduled for April 19th. So this will be the first real opportunity, especially with this new staff, where Lincoln Riley, Coach Henne, Coach Nua, and GM Chad Bowden can really facilitate and demonstrate all that USC and LA has to offer. So, again, I won't get all long-winded, but if the visit to Georgia was that important and put them on the top of his list, you can only imagine what this visit to USC can do and the power of what USC is, the brand that USC, the place that Los Angeles is, can do in this recruitment. So they're in the top 10, has never been here to USC. We'll see if that changes a little bit after his first visit and USC can get some momentum and enter the conversation with the likes of Georgia, Florida, Miami, and Syracuse, which I believe it will, because a lot of times just get to campus and then it's like, whoa. I mean, look at Jakeem Stewart, right? Jakeem Stewart, USC was firmly in the mix. Louisiana kid. Coach Henne obviously built a good relationship with him. He was from Louisiana, went to the same high school that he transferred to, Edna Carr. But once he came to campus for his official, that was like when it was like, whew, blew it. That was when he felt home. You don't feel home until you go somewhere. Home can be a dream, right? But you got to go actually visit and see it. So yeah, we will see what the likes of John Johnson has recruiting, and we'll keep you updated on that. So the other just little tidbit wanted to add, 2026 class, anchored right now, the top recruit in the class, linebacker Xavier Griffin from Georgia. He originally from Alabama, but now he lives in Georgia, goes to Gainesville, same high school that Alex Payne, 2025 offensive lineman, went to, so some connection there. But Griffin, highly touted 4-star, 247 just updated their rankings. They bumped him to a 5-star and the number 1 linebacker in the entire 2026 class, and he is the 8th overall ranked prospect in the nation. So gets a nice bump there, well-deserved. We haven't talked about him a ton. He committed back in July. He's been steadfast in his commitment. This one feels different just because of this new staff, because of what seems like his commitment doesn't seem as wishy-washy as some of the kids from last year's class that ended up decommitting. Very active in promoting USC. I wrote an article a while back. He was visited, I want to say a month ago, by Ohio State, Clemson, and Florida State. And he posted pictures of the coaches visiting him, and he was wearing a USC shirt. I just thought that was hilarious that he's like, these other coaches are recruiting him, and he's rocking his USC shirt of where he's committed, showing like, hey, yeah, you can visit and pitch me, but like, I'm going to USC. So what makes him so great is I think he's such a versatile player. He can be an off-ball linebacker, can be great in coverage, can be an on-ball linebacker, play in the line of scrimmage, can put his hand in the dirt, or can be a stand-up edge and rush the quarterback. He can really do it all. So it'll be really fascinating to see where USC sees him, because his recruitment has been primarily Coach Henderson and Coach Nua. Obviously, Rob Ryan just got hired in the mix, but I'm just curious if they'll see him as like that true, 5'2" or 4'3" backer, or they see him more as an edge guy that can also drop in coverage as need be. So it'll be interesting to see, but at 6'3", 205, tons of versatility there where he can kind of play any of those positions that they want him to be. And so that versatility, I think, is what makes him so great. And he can be that kind of joker role if you need him to be and play all over the line of scrimmage, but also can be in coverage and cover tight ends. Like, hopefully the future, we won't see those Tyler Warren 17 catch 200-yard days. If a linebacker of this caliber can potentially lock down a tight end or at least cover and put some pressure, but then also be able to rush the passer as well. So number 1 linebacker in the country, Xavier Griffin, committed to USC, number 8 overall prospect in the entire country. So that was it. Quick update. Oh, one little funny thing. I don't know if anyone cares, but Oregon just made Dan Lanning a top 5 paid coach in college football. $11 million per year, 6-year extension. So he now passes Lincoln Riley. I know a lot of people love talking about Lincoln Riley's contract. He now passes Lincoln Riley for more annual dollars, and that 6-year extension takes him up to 2030. So Yeah, I feel like that's USC's biggest rival right now. I mean, it's Notre Dame, UCLA, and Oregon. Those are like the three rivals. And when it comes to recruiting specifically, Oregon's the rival. So take that for what you want. Just want to throw it out there. But yeah, Oregon chasing an Natty, and coach gets paid. So, but that's it. Nice, short, and sweet today. Just wanted to give a quick recruiting update. Give a big thank you to all of you for helping us get to 5,000. And everyone have a great weekend. Stay dry. I'm going to try to do these, honestly. I would love if I could do these daily. Again, we'll be back with Coach and Madman. It's just been a busy offseason with schedules and whatnot, so they're not going anywhere. But I do want to try to get videos up daily, or at least 4 or 5 a week consistently. So that's the goal. That's the hope. Obviously, the more you guys listen, watch, engage, that'll help with that actually coming to fruition. So thank you all. Everyone be well. Have a great weekend. And as always, fight on.